Welcome to The Difference Makers. I'm Lyndon Wilson, creator of The Difference, internet media and marketing company. And we created the show called The Difference Makers to target the small business owner, entrepreneur, independent contractor, the people within our communities that are making the difference, whether it's in their own industry, whether it's in their own business or in their community. And so today I'm happy to have Steven Beaver with Take More Vacations. And I can't wait to hear what that means because it's really cool. Steven's going to be my co-host today. Actually, he ends up hosting it. I just introduce him. And he's going to have a fabulous guest. Can't wait for him to come on. His name is Mark Lukes, and in a great climate in Florida today. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Steven in. Steven, my friend, how are you doing?
Lyndon, it is a happy and successful day. I am just glad to be here. Even better now that I'm here with you and your audience. This is awesome.
I've been you've been teasing this guest now with me at least for a couple of weeks, and I love what you do. I really do. I get inspired by that. I mean, as I was telling your guest earlier before the show started, you know, we created The Difference to discuss the things that we do that make the difference, both personally or professionally. And that's what you do, right? You help people professionally level up, continue to level up, to reach new levels, but to not forget why they're doing what they do, right? To
Exactly.
Take care of their family and enjoy their life. And I think sometimes we miss that component of it, that we're chasing success, whatever that means, so hard, well, we forget to enjoy why we're doing what we're doing in the first place. So having said that, tell everybody a little bit about you, what you do, and then I'm going to let you take this over and bring in your guest.
So, well, what I do is I help people. I put people out of work. Okay. So, and the way I say that is because, yeah, as it says up there, I'm a business consultant. But so here's the thing. Hang on a second. I got to make some money. How many times has that happened that you did that to one of your kids or your spouse?
Right.
Hang on a second. I got to make some money. So I have a conversation with my wife and my daughter every day, Monday through Friday. And my daughter said, you know, I said, you can make memories and you can make money. And people think they have to trade that. It's not true, but that's what generally happens. I got to make some money. Just a second. Well, you're making a memory. But this is what my daughter said. She says, you put business on hold. Work will wait. Your family will not. Children grow up. Memories are made without you. So when you do that, you're making a memory, making that child's memory not a nice one, not one that's building a relationship. And so it was just out of the, she's 21, almost 22 years old now, and out of the mouth of the baby of the bunch, words of wisdom. And I was like, wow, you're so right. And the problem is that was me. I was a workaholic. Doing business consulting, and I had another business going, and this, and I didn't see my kids hardly at all. And I wondered why my wife had a better relationship than I did with my kids. And I blamed her for it, right? It's like, well, because you did this, you did that. And in my consulting, I always ask, are you looking in the mirror or out the window? Well, I was looking out the window, right? When I took a hard look at it, I was like, wow, the problem was here, right? And so I don't want any of my clients to go through that. So that's my whole thing. That's why I say I put people out of work. It's not that you're not working. It's just that your priorities are straight and your systems are better so that you never have to go, hang on a second, I got to make money, right? And so that was the whole emphasis behind my TMV business consulting expert, Take More Vacations, because we took 4 vacations in over 18 years. 4. Want to hear a worse story than that?
Yeah.
My oldest son, I saw his T-ball practice, the very first one. That was it.
Wow.
What kind of memory did I make for him? Right? Yeah, dad's not here. Work's more important. And so my whole philosophy, my whole consulting agency is all about helping you make the right memories for your family and putting everybody always says family first. Your calendar doesn't say that. So anyway, that's how it's evolved. That's why you always see me in a Hawaiian shirt, because it says vacation, right? All my clients go on at least 6 vacations a year. Everybody says, no, I can't do that. Well, that's right. You can say it. And Henry Ford said it. You're right if you think you're right, and you're wrong if you're wrong. You know, it doesn't matter. You're right. If you say you can't do it, you're right. If you say you can do it, you're right. So it's just about our systems and everything. But anyway, I'll go crazy on this. So that's how everything's done. That's what I do, is just put people out of work so they can TMV, take more vacations.
Love it.
So yeah.
Absolutely love it.
But my guest, he doesn't know this, but I believe was on my 3rd show when I was very first started doing podcasts. I think he was number 3. And I was like nervous as all get up. And well, maybe someday we'll revisit that. But he came. I have a thing where I ask him, "What's your brilliant idea?" And he came up with something so great that the next day I was talking about it on my morning show that I did live. And I always give credit's due, right? And so anyway, I thought he would just be another great guest for your audience, because this guy's got a wealth of knowledge. He's got a marketing background. So here's the thing. I already gave it away, so dang it on me. But you have your product, you have your service, you have your quality, and you have marketing. And when I usually ask that question, people will say, well, it's the service is the most important thing. No, it's not. Well, the quality, no. Well, the product, no. It's marketing. McDonald's does not make the best hamburger out there.
True.
But they make the most, right? Because of their marketing. And so anyway, he's got this whole past history of doing all this, and now he's got his own company, and he's super, I say this about every one of my guests on every one of my shows, but it's the only people I deal with. They're super cool guys or girls, right? So if you're super cool and you know your stuff, then I want to talk with you, right? Because I want to learn, right? I'm still learning. So anyway, Mark is a quality guy, and I think we're really going to have a good time with him.
Awesome. Well, let's bring him in now if you're ready.
Yes, sir. Yeah. There he is. The orange shirt, by the way, in case you guys thought he got the name mixed up.
Yeah.
Welcome,
and
Mark.
I'm in Florida, so orange works, So
right.
Good morning. How are you? Or good afternoon. How are you doing?
Hey,
Doing great. Excited to hear what you got to say. And I love listening to Steve. Steve's got great questions. He leads this thing very well. So I'm going to let him take this thing over now, and you guys just share your knowledge with the people listening.
Sir, yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. So,
good
Mark,
seeing you again, by the way.
It is great seeing you again, my friend. And I heard that you're coming down to Dallas, so we gotta do something, right?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. I should be down there hopefully in the next few weeks. So.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, I'll make sure the weather's good for you, because I got pool. And
Perfect. I live in for a reason, man.
Yeah. So it's going to be 6 questions. There's no surprises. I sent them to you earlier. So, but I'm just going to ask them now. We have a lot more time than we used to on my show. It was 6 questions in 90 minutes. We got 30 minutes. So just take your time, expand, and let's have some fun, and hopefully some people will you'll lay down some knowledge. So just in a few sentences, just tell us who you are and what you do.
You bet. Mark Lucas, obviously. I'm the owner of Silent Marketing Solution, and we are basically the country's premier closing gift program for the real estate industry. And I say the real estate industry, though we've expanded a little bit beyond those borders into some other industries. But by and large, this program was created by and for and whatnot for real estate agents. And we are really, it's 2 sides of the same coin. We're first and foremost a closing gift company. So the very easy version is closing gifts for real estate agents traditionally have been baskets of wine, or wine bottles, baskets of fruit, or something along those lines. It was very short-lived products. And we went a different way. We decided to embrace technology about a dozen or so years ago. And so the closing gift for the agents, or for the homeowners, I should say, is a membership to the other side of the coin, which is called the shopping company. And it is a members only, heavily discounted website. It's 30, 40, 50% cheaper than everybody else. Amazon, Hayneedle, whatever, is not uncommon. And so these customers, these homeowners get to go in and buy their own perfect closing gift, right? If they need something for their dog, if they want to buy a piece of jewelry, if they want to buy bed sheets, they can do that. That's what they need. That's what they want. And guess what? It's on our site. And how cool is that? All right, so that's the fun part of it. Now, where it gets really cool is every time that homeowner logs into the shopping company, the entire site brands itself back to that agent, right? So all the colors change, all the fonts change, and all the pictures change.
Are you saying, so like, my brand is the palm tree, and I got that. So you're saying my brand is going to be
absolutely. Yep, absolutely. So and it even goes further than that, because, for example, NAR has, or most brokerages have, a corporate logo you have to have on their site will be there. And then let's say an agent has their own personalized logo. That can be on there. And then we can custom color some stuff. Their pictures on there, all their contact information. And the idea is really quite simple. If you read historically from the real estate world, the customer retention rate for real estate agents, really for almost all time, had been right around 14%. It fluctuates a little bit, but effectively it's around 14%. So what we did through our program, through embracing the e-commerce model, embracing a different style of marketing, embracing silent branding, which is something most other industries picked up with, 30 or 40 years ago, which the real estate world just didn't. Our agents average around 68% retention, right? That's huge. I mean, it's huge. And
it's huge in any business.
It's huge in any business, but let alone the real estate industry, where it's such a radical, difference in just the ability. And again, and the reason we're called Silent Marketing Solution is simple, because we're not bombarding, let's say, the homeowner with, an email blast, or used to be mail blast or something like that, which is, look, I'm a real estate agent. I just sold another house in your area, and aren't I wonderful? And those things tend to get discounted over time or filtered. We're embracing the e-commerce side of it, which is, hey, you need new garden stuff because it's spring, or you need a new couch because we got furniture, or you need a new microwave because your microwave, the kid, the fork in with the popcorn and shouldn't have done that, or something along those lines. You can get all that stuff right on the shopping company. And by the way, every time they log in, every time they purchase something, they get, it's all branded back to that agent. But we're embracing the e-commerce side of it. It's what these, we're telling agents, let your customers do what they naturally want to do. They want to buy stuff. So let's utilize that to their benefit. And we've got customers been with us for almost the entire duration of our company, which is, what do we have, 2010s? What do we have, 11 years now, plus or minus 12, something along those lines. So it's just been a fantastic program. And we've gone from a itty bitty little myself and my wife to employees. And we've got about 11,000-ish customers nationwide. We're moving into Europe a little bit. We've got some customers in Italy and France, and England. Trying to move into the Latin American market, which is a little tougher just because of shipping issues, but we'll get there, and we'll just keep growing. And
awesome.
It's a fantastic program, and it works, which is nice. So
yeah, well, being a marketing guru, I guess that's kind of and it works. Oh, really?
Yeah, and it works. Yeah. The light bulb comes on. It's a little sometimes, but it comes on.
So you've been around the block. You've worked for other companies. You've done this. So yeah. Question number 2 is, what's the best thing about being a business owner?
Well, I know when you and I talked last time, I've said this on a few other occasions, where I get my most amount of satisfaction when the people around me are doing better. Okay. So whether that's my employees, and I have depending on your particular point of view, I have the fortunate or unfortunate dynamic of working with a lot of younger kids. A lot of my data entry kids are a little younger, late 20s or something along those lines. So I become sort of father figure-esque to them, not by choice, because they've got parents, but whatever. Just watching them grow, watching them, kind of flourish, and teaching them about business. Because I take an active interest in my employees, and if they want to come and talk to me and say, hey, I don't understand why we're doing this, there might be a business reason they've just never seen. So I use the example of, I had an employee, she was with me for, a couple of years, I guess. And she graduated from college and went off to do her shows. Anyway, so she'd been on for about 6 months, and I get this letter in the mail. It was her wedding invitation. Didn't even know she was getting married, but okay. So of course, I went, and a bunch of the employees were there, and we all had a great time. It was wonderful seeing everybody again. And I thought, it just doesn't get any better than this. This is what we do as small business owners. We want to encourage our employees, and we want to be there for them as we can be, within the limitations of what we can realistically do. So yeah, that was a really fun, exciting reminder of, you create an environment where these kids are happy and they're flourishing. You're doing good. And it doesn't, I use, the younger ones as the example. It could be all of them. I've got employees that are, older than me and younger than me. And as long as they're all doing well, then fine. Then I reap the benefits of that. And the company reaps the benefits of that too. So
cool. All right. So question number 3 is, I always like to stay in a positive mindset. I'm always talking about that. So what's your thought about staying in a positive mindset and the challenges that can happen for a business owner?
Yeah. Again, this is a tough one. It really is. You just got to find it in yourself. Being a small business owner is tough. And I don't try and kid people about that. It's really tough sometimes. So I just go, you gotta make sure you find it every morning. It doesn't matter what's driving it. It really doesn't. It's right here. It's in your gut. It's in your soul. It's in your heart. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in your company. You got to believe in your people. You got to believe in everything. If you can do that, if you can wake up every morning, have your cup of coffee, have your tea, whatever gets you going in the morning, and you go, today's the day I'm going to make a difference. Today's the day I'm going to really, 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 really make a difference for myself, my company, for my employees, my customers, whatever that looks like. You'll always overcome those things. But get ready, because you're going to get beat up. That's just the truth of business, man. You are going to take it on the chin from time to time, and it just is what it is. So get ready.
Everybody thinks that it's just a piece of cake. All Steven does is this and that. And how many times people argue with me? I'm like,
oh, absolutely.
I wouldn't argue with Michael Jordan about how to shoot a basketball, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm different, Michael. I'm shorter than you. The dynamics don't work as well. You don't understand.
Right.
You're not short. I'm like,
geometry's different when you're only 5'5" versus 6'2" or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
Well, right on. All right. Well, so this is one of my favorite questions. It's of course what brilliant idea do you want to share with the other business owners out there?
Well, I like the one, and I've used this before, so forgive me, but I think the most brilliant thing any small business owner can do is just listen. I genuinely think that you will learn more from what your customers want, what your employees try to tell you. You could be sitting in a coffee shop, having a cup of coffee and just listening to people. If you're willing to absorb that information, if you're willing to really take it and do something with it, that's the best thing you can do. Too many business owners, and I've done a little bit of business consulting myself from time to time, and I help owners sometimes take small, but maybe a medium company or whatever. And the first thing I tell them is, just shut up. Just stop talking for 5 seconds, and listen to what your people are trying to do, particularly your customers. I mean, that's obviously the biggest one, but just across the board, that's my biggest thing is too many business owners get locked into their own head, and they just stop absorbing. And when you've done that, the scary part is not only are you done as a person, let's say, not literally, but metaphorically, you're done growing as a person. Your company's done, and you don't even realize it yet, because somebody's going to come in and overlap you. And that's a tough pill to swallow sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. The only constant in the universe is change. So
boy,
you got to listen for that change, right? You got to listen for that change, right?
Yep, exactly.
So I think I was talking with a potential client, and he said, well, God has put me on this road to do this. And I said, well, if that's the case, God has put me on your road to help you do this, right?
Yep.
You don't get it both ways.
Exactly right. Yeah.
So
you can't cherry pick which road you decide to be on,
But I always, and one of the things that I do to help me, because I get the same thing, right? I have business consultants that I talk to that say, Steven, you need to, is I always remind myself that I'm a change agent. So that helps me stay in that mindset, right? Of listening, right? So that's, Unfortunately, Mark, I pre-do all my shows, so I can't go tomorrow and do this, but it will probably be in next week's.
There you go. There you
yes.
go.
But yeah, listening is it's huge, and you know it's funny you say that, and even I forget that sometimes.
Sure.
It's like 2 ears, right? 1 mouth, right?
Yep. Exactly.
And
Yeah.
so, and then the
You know,
less you talk, the
for
more
us,
you learn.
exactly. And for us, it's really, you know, our clients are really our sounding board. I mean, we have agents constantly reaching out. Well, it's even to me personally, sometimes I'll get an email from an agent going, yeah, I really wish your site would do this, whatever this is. Wow, that's a great idea. Like, okay, take it in. And then they talk to my team and I go, can we do this on the site? Is that possible? What do we have to change? Okay, go for it. And I love it when agents will reach out because, I mean, A, they're engaged in the program, which is great, but B, they're willing to help us improve. It's huge, absolutely huge.
Let me ask you this question, and it's a trick question, and you probably won't fall for it. Should you listen to the customers that say yes or the customers that say no?
Well, you already know the answer. It's always the customers who say no. Because you got to know why. Why are they saying no? It's that simple. I mean,
yeah.
Yes ones are easy. You know.
Yeah.
If they're that enthusiastic.
Actually, believe it or not, I actually say go both ways.
Really?
So listen to the yeses. Say, so why did you buy from me? Because you never know, you might have changed something, right?
You know, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Maybe the real estate world's jaded me a little bit, but I was a time I did both. But yeah, the real estate industry is a little tougher. Poor agents.
But you're right.
They
Most
get hit
people
so
don't
hard.
want to hear the no. They don't want to hear the no. That.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
but
no,
it's
hard on,
probably the most important one, though.
Yeah, it's hard on the ego. I mean, look, as a small business owner, you've got to have a bit of an ego, and it's tough when people go, you know, that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard of, and you know, we've all heard that. And it doesn't feel good, but guess what? That's your customers are trying to tell you something, and you're always going to get that sort of negativity at times. So you got to go, okay, well, why? What is it about my widget or my program or my whatever that is not appealing to these people? If there's too many of them, you got to make a wholesale change. If you get a few here and there, you can sort of dismiss it a little easier, but you still want to know why. It's still an important part of the process.
Yeah, you just hit on the look in the mirror. That's why I like you, because you always look in the mirror. It's like, what did I do wrong? Dude, well, how's it all about you? Well, because, you know, it is always about,
you
know.
No, yeah. So, all right.
All right. So just real quick, question number 5 is just, you know, what other successful business owners like yourself would you like to acknowledge and maybe see on the podcast?
Yeah. So I remember, I think I mentioned Darren last time, and there was somebody else. I don't know. But yeah, you know, probably I've got a very good friend named Tatiana. She actually runs a nonprofit, which is just doing amazing work called Linked, and absolutely phenomenal. They are sort of building, probably not the right way to say that, but they're helping to develop some smaller communities in Central Africa and a few other places around, just doing phenomenal work, and genuinely being helpful and genuinely being just so giving. It's unbelievable to watch what her and her group is doing to help all kinds of impoverished communities, the States, Africa, wherever. Tatiana would definitely be one that would be, you know, right at the top of that list. And I think the other one that I truly have a passion for is I've got a good friend of mine named John Rakowski. He's actually with Remax for a while, with EXP now, but just again a guy who just truly salt of the earth. I mean, he is probably one of the best brokers I've ever seen. Really just giving of his time, giving of his energy. If they has a question or a concern, or maybe they haven't been in it for a while, maybe they've only been in it for a few days, John is right there for him all the time. No questions asked. It's impressive to watch. He definitely, and you know, nice part about where he is now is he can take agents from all over the country and guide them and help them under that EXP banner. So that's always cool.
Cool beans. All right. Well, now for the final question. It's a final fun question. How do you celebrate a win?
You know, I probably, the most I celebrate is with my wife. She was the co-founder of this whole adventure, and she's luckily found her true passion in life, which is teaching kids piano. She went back to the public school system, which has been truly her passion. And she wasn't necessarily happy in the corporate world, and good for her for doing it. But when the good things happen, she was right there with me in the beginning, and I want to show her and be with her and have her be a part of that success. So that's probably what I do more than anything else. I'm not a big go out and crack bottles of champagne type of person. I like to take the small victories and enjoy them, internalize a little bit and go, okay, this is what we did right today. Guess what? I still go to bed and tomorrow's a new day. I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but you got to take each day. But yeah, my wife and I that's what we like to do. Just talk and maybe figure it out and enjoy it in that way. Go out to dinner maybe if it's a really big one or something like that. But yeah.
Okay, so I want to throw in question number 7. And it's only because I know you that I'm going to do this. Maybe.
Off script. Okay.
But I know that there are people out there that want me to ask this question. And since you are a marketing guru, and by the way, everybody out there, if you're in a business, you are a guru. Whether you're a really good one or a really bad one, it doesn't matter. You're a guru, so start acting like it. But you are a marketing guru, and I appreciate all the knowledge that you have. But what would you say, and I know this is a real blanket question, what would be the one thing that you could tell somebody to do that would affect marketing-wise, that would affect their business today, tomorrow, next year, whatever?
You're right. That's a real blanket question.
I know, right?
What I could say is this is, and maybe I said this last time, I can't remember, but is just become what the intellectual source of your particular subject. Become the leader of your particular your business or your industry, whatever it happens to be. People want to talk to other people who truly know the ins and outs. And so if your particular company makes widgets, become the absolute leader of that widget company. Know everything there's to know about widgets. Talk to anybody who will talk to you about widgets and become the leader, because inevitably your business to grow, people behind you want to know that they're talking to an expert. Having a website, having social media, that's all well and good. But if for my company I'll use myself as the example, for my company to succeed, the only way I have that happen is if when I talk to agents, I know precisely what I'm talking about all the time. And I don't mean in the abstract. I mean, literally, if they have a question about X, whatever X, even about title, let's say, or even about mortgages or whatever, I got to know all of that stuff. You are an incredibly effective business consultant. You have to understand business. You have to be the leader, and you have to be all things knowledgeable on business itself. So then you can turn around and teach people, okay, you got the business side, now we're going to teach you how to take vacations, right? And how cool is that? You got to just become an absolute expert in your field. And I think without that, well, that's probably not the right way to say that. I think if you could do that, you separate yourself out from just the mass noise that's going on right now. People then will follow you and just want to listen to you, and your business will grow, and you will become the authority of that. And I don't know any other way to do it. And maybe it's been like that for all time and eternity. Maybe it's become more noisy, so we have to sort of shout a bit louder at times. But in the end, I don't know any better way to really, from a marketing point of view, put yourself in that space.
Yeah, I knew you would have well, that's not a nugget. That's like a 24 karat bar. Okay.
Right.
So you gotta learn to water stuff down. Okay. Don't give me the whole bar, because now I'm feeling it. Like, yeah, dude, I got it.
And I'm not even charging you for it. See? So
I know, right? That's the best thing. But I'll charge my clients. No.
There you go.
Well, I will, but that's not the point. But no, that was brilliant, and it's the same thing. It's interesting that we have that same mindset. I always talk about branding, and you have to do that. So it's interesting that this is why I like talking with you. We always, no matter what, it always seems like minds, right? Or you say something, I'm like, and I go like, oh, I forgot about that, or man, I really need to tone in on that, right? And so that's the kind of the brilliance of Lyndon. Is he brings this stuff in, and a lot of this stuff is common sense, right? But we forget it because we get caught up in our own little world, right? And we're so here, And we're like,
Right.
dude, if you just relax and do this, and we're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's brilliant.
Well, and we also get bombarded with a million ideas coming at us all at once. It's like, wash away all this stuff out here and go back to the root, the basics.
The basics.
And that's
right.
kind of, what is it? The old KISS, keep it simple, stupid. And
That's right.
You'll win more than you lose. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, and when we started this whole process talking about the difference, what is it? A lot of times the difference is just doing the little things. I mean, I was a football coach for 14 years. When we got our butt kicked on the field, we went back to basics. That's what we did in practice. Yep. We went back to the fundamentals, and it got us back on track. And a lot of us want to skip those steps. And when you skip steps on a ladder or a staircase and you miss one, it's a long fall to the bottom.
There was some coach, I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. His name was Vince Lombardi, I think.
I heard of that guy.
Something about basics. What are you going to do different? You're going to work on the basics. What?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, unfortunately, we are out of time. And but Mark, great meeting you. Great information. Well. Thank you for being here. I hope that Steven brings you back on. Love to hear more of what you got going. I have heard of. I've been working in the real estate world now for about 18 years, so I have heard of what you're doing, and I've heard good things. So kudos to you for that. You're doing a great job. So
appreciate that.
Steven, if you want to close us out, and then I will hit the outro, and we'll let you get ready for next month.
I'll just say this. This is how I always end it. Everybody, good luck laboring under correct knowledge. I'm Steven Beaver, your TMV business consultant expert. TMV, baby. Take more vacations. That's how we spell your success. You all have a happy and successful day. Bye for now.